Started with. All right. Good day, everyone. We have some people joining outside the country from other parts of the world. Today is Sunday, the 26th of July, 2026, and I remain yours truly, Segun Adedibigbe. I'll be happy to answer questions today. Today is all about Q&A around the club and what we do in the club. And yes, thank you so much for joining, everyone. As I always say, it's the most exciting week of the month because just about this time is when organizations will be running payroll, right? If you are an employee, you will be, expecting your pay package at the end of this month. Please, after you have taken away your non-discretionary expenses, don't forget you have to invest, okay? And for those who are business owners, don't forget you're also an employee of your business, right? You have to pay yourself salary from the business, okay? And yeah, always keep aside some money for investments. Yeah, we have formulas to all of these things. And yeah, please don't forget to invest. Investment is very important. Okay, so a few things I'd like to share before we go into the Q&A. Club EFI started as a result of two major things. Number one, people losing their monies to, investment schemes. Some of them, actually, some are even legitimate, but the model was faulty. And because of that, monies went down the drain. So that's number one reason. Number two reason is we see a lot of businesses start up, and by statistics, 4 out of every 5 of newly founded business shuts down in the first year of operation. And that's why Club EFI is all about entrepreneurship and investments. Where the F comes in is financial literacy, and that financial literacy is very critical either in entrepreneurship or is critical in investments. Club EFI is, of course, registered under two schemes as an administrative body, as well as an international foundation, a non-governmental organization that is into helping people do business better and helping people invest better. And because of these things, we have products under the entrepreneurship and also products under the investments. We do not collect your monies from you. We're not an investment company. We're not a bank. We're not a fund manager and all of that. But we also have got a cooperative, should in case we need to pull funds, because cooperative allows and licenses us to be able to pull funds together for people who want to do one or two things around that. Okay. Having said that, it's also important that I let you know that we've been in operations for many years, and every January we have our annual physical conference. The one we had this year, we had it in Radisson Blue. The one we are going to have next year, we are in between Radisson Blue and Eco Hotel. It's of course free for our paid members. It's not a free club, sorry. It's free for our paid members, but it comes at the cost to non-members. Okay. Yes, so that is an overview, a very short overview of what we do in the club. And yes, I am the face of the club, but I don't run the club alone. And yes, just for you to also know, we deliberately do not run advertisements because of our model. Our model has been purely organic from day one. Only members of the club, you know, tells other members to join the club. And it's deliberately so because we want to attract our kind. Currently, as of today, if I'm not making a mistake, we're in about 22 countries of the world, from Australia to Canada to Germany to US to Switzerland to Poland to Ivory Coast to Ghana to Kenya. We have members of the club. We are majorly Nigerians, excuse me. And in some cases, just one person. For example, the person we have in Poland is just a lady who works in Poland and works in the embassy, right? So in some countries, just one person. And in some other countries, we have multiple people. Yeah, I think I'll leave it there. Yeah, a couple of other things for those on the entrepreneurship, consultation, trainings, boot camps, networking on high level. We are deliberately not loud. Deliberately. We are deliberately not loud. So You won't see us on the billboards and pages of newspaper. It's deliberate. But we believe in the model of keeping things very closely knit because it helps us to control a lot of things. I give an example. Dangote IPO, pre-IPO has just closed. People were just hearing that it's coming, but it had closed. And I will tell you, a lot of people didn't get, in fact, I don't know who got in. Let me put it that way. I don't know who got in. So we have some very cherished, high-powered connections that we're also very careful with. And we try to keep things within ourselves. And yeah, let me put it that way. Okay, that's it about just a high level of what we do and who we are. And yeah, I think I'll hand over to Daniel now. I think he's got a couple of questions some people have shared with him. And he also has some questions he has curated. And of course, if you have your own questions, feel free to send us a chat. And I will be on my WhatsApp as well because some people will just prefer to send their chat on WhatsApp. And yes, but if you want to ask questions, feel free to unmute your mic and you can ask. Last meeting, we locked the microphone, so you wouldn't be able to open your mic. But this time around, because it's a Q&A session, we have left the mics open for you to be able to ask. Madam Bella, sorry, it has closed. Dangote IPO, pre-IPO had closed. When it becomes news, it's already late. So we don't operate in that level. We operate before it becomes news. Yeah, it has closed. It has closed. And those that are in now, in 2 years. So we will make it public. I'm saying we now. We will make it public in 2 years' time. And by that time, we would have had at least 5x returns. At least. Worst case scenario, 5x returns. And yes, we help Dangote to announce so that the general public can then come and buy. Just a second. I'm trying to open this chat box for people. Okay, so just okay. So the WhatsApp group is open now, so that you can send a message there as well. All right. So let's start with Daniel. Daniel, over to you. Thanks.
Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
So if you have any questions, actually drop that either in the chat section or reach out.
I can't hear you clearly.
Can you hear me?
Yes, now I can hear you.
Okay. Is this better?
Yes, it's better now. Thank you.
Okay. So I was saying that if you have any questions, please, you can always drop it in the chat section or unmute your mic and let me know if you'd like to ask your questions. For some of the questions that we already got, apparently you've answered one of them already, but I'll still go ahead to read it. This person is asking, there has been a lot of discussions about the Dangote pre-IPO private placement.
Yeah.
Some people say that once a company lists on the exchange, you've already missed out most of the upside. Is it still possible to participate? And if so, what factors should an investor consider before investing in the pre-IPO opportunity? But since that has been answered, there was also still a follow-up question after that says, if it would not be possible to invest, would the club be open to other pre-IPO placements like Anthropic?
Okay, thank you very much for that question. And whoever asked it, thank you for that brilliant question. Yes, Dangote pre-IPO has closed. Done. Can you get in now? The answer is no. Will it come up in the future? Yes, when they want to list on stock exchange. And can Club BFI, get into pre-IPO conversations with Anthropic? I'll say yes cautiously. And I say yes cautiously because in this part of the world, in Africa, It is the founders that chase investors for money to come and invest. But in that part of the world, in the US, you literally will be begging founders to take your money. If Anthropic chooses to list today or chooses to do whatever they want to do, be 100% sure that they wouldn't even need people's monies. They will be highly selective. They will raise the bar so much and they will put a lot of restrictions. Now, the question is, what are those restrictions? I cannot answer that question today because I don't know. Even if some may not even make it open. They will just call friends and families and the likes of Thoma Bravo and these very big institutional investors and just talk to them and get money from those people, right? And yeah, that's it. You really can't, but we would always give our shots. Yes, we are always very happy to invest in such. And yes, we've invested in so many tech startups and companies, not necessarily tech startups, but also in so many companies locally and outside the country. Outside the country, we have over 20 companies we've invested in, and some of them have returned crazy returns. One that was invested in Nigeria has returned over 300x returns, 300x returns in the space of about 4 years now. So which means if you had invested $10,000, just imagine $10,000 times 300. So you can exit at that rate. But that is in Naira, and that's in Nigerian companies. Are beautiful companies also in Nigeria that has great returns. But for the US, for Anthropic, well, when that time comes, we'll take it and we'll share that in the community. Thank you.
Okay, great. Thank you very much, sir. So we have another question from another person. He says, what is the structure of Club EFI? That is Club EFI a legal entity with corporate filings, documentations, and where members are shareholders, etc.? Or is it
Okay.
just an informal of mutual financial interests? And what are the criteria of becoming a member? If I become a member, what benefits do I get from being a member?
All right. Thank you. I don't know if that person got that question. Well, maybe the person already asked before I did the introduction, but for the benefit of
Yes.
other people who are also in this meeting, and of course, for the benefit of those who watch this recording, Club EFI is a legal entity. All right. We operate in two arms. One is our non-governmental organization, is an international non-governmental organization. Okay. It is EFI International, which is our NGO. Then we also have our corporate filings with Corporate Affairs Commission as an administrative body, right? We are not a financial organization. We don't collect monies from you. We are not a bank. We are not a fund manager or capital management company and all of those things. Because if we collect money from you, we have to be licensed to do so. However, due to demands on some things that should help us stay within the regulatory framework, we registered a cooperative society, which has been in operation for about 4 years now, or so, if I'm not making a mistake, so that in case you in the club or we, the executives of the club, would have any reason to pull funds together, because there will be possibilities. We don't want it to, and we have actually done that many times. And I'm going to give you an example of some of the things we've done. Pull funds together, we can do it within a legal framework, all right? Yes, I know people can trust individuals, but we cannot raise money publicly, right? And we do not raise money publicly. We do it within the paid members of the club, right? And that's because of the way we are structured. So let me give an example. 4 years ago, we in collaboration with an agricultural company, we did 10,000 tubers of yams in Lagos. 3 years ago, we did 1 million tubers of yams in Lagos. 2 years ago, we did 3 million tubers of yams in Lagos. Last year, we did 5 million tubers of yams in Lagos. 5 million, not 5,000, 5 million. And when people saw the progress and the success of it, which we've done for multiple years, they said, oh, we want to bring in our money and we want to participate in this investment. As I speak with you, we have 10 million tubers going on, 5 in Ogun State and 5 in Lagos State. And in such scenario, only those in the cooperative, because if you're a member of the club, you're also a member of the cooperative. So that at least within legal framework, and you know what cooperatives do, right? You are legalized and authorized and licensed to pull funds together, put it in an investment, and share profits, right? And we still filed even for our cooperative license as of 3 months ago, which because our cooperative license around March, April, right? So that's the structure. So regarding all the things that we do, yes, we are structured. Now, who are the people who run the club? We have seasoned experts who run the club, and we have patrons, and then we have board of advisors as well. All right. I am the face of the club. I'll be the one that would always host the meetings because that's my responsibility. But we have people who manage the social media. I don't even have credentials to log into the social media. I don't even know how it runs. I don't know how they do those designs and all of those things. And even my phone, there is a manager that manages, the community. Sometimes the post that you see is actually not even from me. It's from the community managers who are also posting. And sometimes they use my phone to post, and sometimes they use their own devices to post. We also have coaches. So if you are in the club, we have private one-on-one sessions, and we have coaches in the club who are executives of the club and who you will tend to meet, time and again. Then we have patrons. So for example, some of our guest speakers that we bring into the club, they are patrons of the club. They are friends of the club. Some of them, you would have seen them on our social media handle. Some of them, they are hidden. All right, they are hiding at the back end because they don't want to be known. So we are that structured. Let me just put it that way. And if you want to be a member, I think that's the other question. So we have corporate membership and we have individual membership, and then we have the free community. The free community, and we have several free communities, I beg your pardon. So one of the communities we have is the alumni, which probably the person is or maybe knows. We have the Bravo team. The Bravo team is another community where content is shared with them for their audience. Where we have the Ascent team. The Ascent team is another free community. Then we have our E-Zone. Our E-Zone is the last free community. So E-Zone is our community for purely entrepreneurs, right? We don't share any other thing there apart from business, doing business with business people, business content, entrepreneurship content, and so on and so forth, where we share such information. So even by being a member in any of these communities, there's value that you derive. But one of the guiding principles is that we will tell you what to do, we will tell you when to do, we will tell you why you should do it, but we never tell you the how. The how has to be in the paid community. Now, for individual membership, well, it's very cheap because we want people to join. But where we really put a lot of attention is our corporate membership. Our corporate membership package, the minimum starts with $3,500 for that package. Minimum, because there are other tiers to that level. But for our individual membership, of course, that one, you just come, attend meetings, get some of the things we share, and that is all. But we don't sit with you to do so many other things we do with that corporate package. That one, 200,000 naira, is just for you to join and, just like be in the community, get some other good information, share with you and all of that. So it's all about paying prices and covering distances. You get what you pay for. Thank you. Next question.
All right. Thank you very much, sir. So, another person is asking, Nigeria has experienced high
Sorry,
and currency.
your voice is not very clear.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. So I was saying, another person is asking, Nigeria has experienced several high inflation rates and currency volatility over the past few years. With recent economic reforms, there are claims that the economy is becoming more stabilized. Would you say it's a good time to invest in Nigeria? If so, what asset classes or sectors would you prioritize?
All right, thank you. So inflation rate, yes, it's even better now. There's a time food inflation was over 40.5%, and the regular inflation was over 33.71%. But now it has even dropped. There was a time it dropped to as low as 15%. I've not checked the latest number, but I think it's hovering around 20%. Yeah, if I'm not making a mistake. Yeah, so inflation erodes the power of your currency, but if you invest and the return on investment outstrips the inflation rate, it's a good investment to do. Um, even if even if you have in the past invested in something that is not higher than inflation rate, it is still better than just leaving your money in the bank. Okay, right? You will lose some money, but you won't lose as much as you would have lost if you just drop your money in the bank or you put it in your under your pillow in your room. So that's to speak about inflation rate. Now, the Nigerian economy, see, the way you test the economic indices of any country, and this is not about being a Nigerian or a Nigerian factor, is to check how many people were in poverty last year, how many people were in poverty 2 years ago, how many people were in poverty 3 years ago, how many people are in poverty now. Now, it is relative. What is the price of goods and services, the basic needs of man in the market? Is it getting cheaper? Is it getting stable? Is it getting higher? Now, if it is getting higher, is the corresponding power of purchase, economic power of the masses higher? Because yeah, you can go to Zimbabwe and you're a billionaire. I mean, because and you may not even how much do you have in naira that, but so it's relative. When you go to some countries, you are a billionaire automatically, right? So it's not just are prices of goods and services increasing? If they're increasing, does that mean the economy is doing bad? Not necessarily. It could also be that the people's purchasing power has also increased. Their economic power has also increased. But when you are looking at it, what's the price of rice in the market? What's the price of gari in the market? What's the price of tomatoes in the market? What's the price of a liter of fuel, and so on and so forth? Then you will come to that conclusion. Unfortunately, a lot of our budget is spent on servicing debt, and is spent on operational expenditure. Yes, we have some capital expenditure, quite all right, but when you look at that, then you begin to ask yourself further questions. Also, if you're an import-dependent nation like we are, you would have more, sorry, you have, more issues around the economy. Um, yeah, so these are a couple of factors. I'm not an economist, but by virtue of being an investor and somebody who reads the news, knowing what is going on in the world, then I can draw some conclusions. For example, also what is the, exchange rate between the naira and, other global currencies. So these are the things that you need to look at, to determine if the economy is moving forward or not. I am very careful to, make some allegations here. Yes, we have evidences, but I don't want us to turn this into a political conversation where maybe anybody can watch this later online and think, oh, maybe this guy is not a supporter of the government and all of that. But I want you to draw your conclusions based on these things I have asked. Now, to hit the nail on the head, um, around investment. It's always a brilliant time to invest in Nigeria. And I'm going to give you a couple of reasons. Number one reason is it's in this part of the world that you can do an investment and get a 30, 35% per annum return on investment. In fact, you can get a 40, you can get a 45. Oh, yes. You tell me the highest return on investment you will get in USD. Highest I have seen hovers around 13, 14% in 1 year. And then you look at another currency that gives you up to 50%. And these are legitimate businesses, legitimate. I mean, we do some of them in Club EFI. We do 45, we do 40, we do 35, we do 30. I mean, depending on the model of that investment. Tested, trusted with security of your capital. Now, someone can say, oh, but there's the risk of Naira falling against the dollar. But that's not the conversation in the club. It's about diversifying your portfolio. You invest in USD, you invest in British pounds, you invest in Naira, and and for your information, we actually have these investments in these multi-currencies across different continents and of course different countries, right? We have in Europe, you have in Africa, and then we have in US. So it's always a good time to also invest. You just need to know how to invest and be smart about the investment, okay? So I wouldn't want to say, oh, it's better to invest in one currency or in one country and not invest in Nigeria. It's not about being patriotic. It's about you diversifying your portfolio, diversifying your risk, currency risk, geographical risk, economic risk, and country-based risks, right? It's about that. It's not about, oh, let me now put all my money in dollars, or let me put all my money in pounds, let me put all my money in Naira. All right. Then the final question is, okay, so which sectors can you invest in, or something around which asset classes can you invest in? There is no asset class that is good or bad. Sorry, there is better than the other, I beg your pardon. Investment is all about what works for you and your policy. I will give an example. And I'm not trying to dodge the question. I'm just like trying to give you the context about investment so that even if it's not Club BFI that you're listening to today, wherever you're going to be listening to tomorrow, next week, next year, that philosophy will be at the back of your mind on things to ask and questions to ask. Now, when it comes to investments, it's about what works for you. There are some people, they have health issues. They are in their 60s or in their 70s, in their 80s, and they are not, their risk appetite is very low. Maybe they have health issues around blood pressure and hypertension. I will not tell such a person to go and invest in stocks. I won't. Why? Because stocks, by nature, the normal behavior of stocks is that it goes up and down, up and down, up and down. Let it not be a situation where someone now chooses to go and invest. Your stocks is up. You are happy it is up. All of a sudden, you log into your app or you hear from your stockbroker and they say the stocks has lost 50% of its value. And then your blood pressure shoots up, right? Another philosophy is, oh, there are some people maybe in their early 20s, even maybe early 30s. They can take risk. They may not be married. They can take risk and say, even if I lose money, I still have many years ahead of me to recoup, right? Because time will give me that opportunity to recoup that money. And they may maybe just responsible for themselves only, not necessarily maybe married or responsible for siblings or parents or some other people. And these are people that, they are happy to take risk. If anything happens, no wahala. I'm not saying they are being they are being, what's the question now? I don't use the word rascal. They are being careless, right? With their investments. I'm just saying things happen. I mean, some people put their money in a bank, a Nigerian bank last year, and the bank shut down and their monies are still stuck, all right? So try to get the context here. So it's about what works for you. Also, the third reason is there are some people who have burnt their fingers in an investment before, and there is nothing you want to tell them about it, especially if they have locked their mind. Some people like us, we can still open our minds towards, even if you have burnt our fingers before, let's listen again, right? And a lot of people in Club EFI, they probably burnt their fingers elsewhere before, and they came and today they are in the club and they're doing investments and their mind and and their soul is at peace, right? So if you tell them about, say, tech startups, they will never invest in tech startups because they probably lost some money, not wasted, lost some money. Some, they've probably invested in stocks and they've lost money. Some have invested in real estate before and they've lost money. So there's nothing you want to tell them about real estate that will make them listen to you. And that's why in Club UFI, we have an array of investments, right? But we will never force or compel anybody that this is the one you must do because it must fit your profile. However, in the other membership packages of the club that we do for corporate organizations and things like that, we can then sit down with you to like really go deep dive in all of these things so that you can like know the nitty-gritties about investing in these places. Because we also do corporate institutional investments and all of that. But basically, it is good to invest in what you are comfortable investing with based on your risk appetite, based on your investment philosophy as well. So there are some people that just prefer, let me invest once, in 6 months, let me exit. In 1 year, let me exit. There are some people who are investing for their children or their grandchildren. They are no longer investing for themselves. There's nothing else they need in life. They are just okay. They are just fine. They are comfortable. They're just doing it for legacy, right? So people invest for different reasons. And there's no one way fit all, a blanket strategy to all of this. Now, either you are investing for yourself, you're investing for your legacy, you're investing for generations, or you are investing 6 months, 1 year, investing 3 years. It does not matter for these final two conditions you must check. Number one, what is the model of that investment? That's number one. What is the model? If the model is flawed, that investment will crash eventually. That's number one. Number two, there is no investment that is 100% risk-free. No this and no peace. So that is the reason why it's always important to diversify your investments. I just told you about a bank. I mean, who would have thought a bank in Nigeria will fail and monies of people will go down the drain with it? So that's why it's always good to diversify. Smart investors know that sometimes you lose some money, sometimes you make money, but let your gains always outstrip your losses. And in cases where you probably lose money, thankfully in Club BFI, we've never lost money, not once. What are the risk mitigating factors, right? For example, in one of our investments, as one of our asset class, even if that company fails, you will get your capital back. Even if that company fails, you will get your capital back. So what are the risk mitigating factors? There's nothing that is risk-free. Everybody, huh? On a day-to-day basis, we live in a world of risks. We live in a world of risks. So investment also has its own risk. All right, let's go on, please, in the interest of time. Go ahead, please. Daniel, are you there? Okay, well, while you get that, I'm seeing a question in the chat says,
I was thinking.
okay, go ahead. You can take the questions. Also, there's a question in the chat as well. So maybe when you're done with your next question and all of that, you can take the question in the chat box. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so this person is asking a question as regards tech startup. He says many startup raises millions of dollars but still fail. As an investor, what are the biggest red flags that tell you that a startup is unlikely to succeed, even if the idea sounds great?
You have asked a very difficult question. Now, all right, so let me tell you one thing about tech startup. Tech startup is a very, very, very risky investment. You are giving monies to people and believing that they will use that money properly. But we have said it 1,000,001 times, even in our community, because we also have a WhatsApp group. We practically have WhatsApp groups for everything that we do, so that content can be specific to that audience. We have told members of our club, tech startup investments is very risky. And we don't want people who will put in their money today and start asking how far tomorrow. It's not an SME. An SME is there's gradual growth and all that. Tech startups are engineered to be, fast growing companies. Now, what do we look out for, as the question says, around tech startup investments? So we have a litmus test that we use, about 5 of them. I will share 2. Number 1, and again, I think I've not said it around investment because these things are principles. What is the model of that business, that tech company? What is their model? How do they make money? What's their path to exit, and so on and so on. What is the model of that investment? Once you know that model and you are convinced about that model, because when tech startup founders come around, they come into my DMs every now and then. Once he chatted me this morning, like he sent me a pitch deck. Have I reviewed it? What do I think? Very brilliant. The guy is into doing this treatment for, no, not treatment, dementia management, whatever in Abuja and all of that. Now, when you understand the model and you are comfortable and you convince yourself that this model makes sense, right? That is one of the litmus tests. Number 2, what is their unit metrics? Unit metrics. That is another model we use. What is their unit metrics, or some will call it unit economics of the business? Which means, how exactly do you make that money? This is not just the model now. How exactly do you make that money? And show me the unit economics of that business in the past 6 months, in the past 2 years, and in the past 5 years. 6, 2, and 5, actually. But some you may choose to do 6, 2, 6, 2, and 3, or 6, 1, and 2, or whatever. These are 2. They are, like I said, they are 5, but I'll share 2 because of time, right? So those are the reasons, those are the things you look out for before you invest in tech startups. But please, as much as possible, diversify your risk across tech startup investment as well. We have always done that in the club. Not all the tech companies you have invested in will do well. Some have raised millions upon millions of dollars, billions of naira, and they've gone down the drain. Some have a very fantastic model, but sometimes when success gets into the head of the founders, they just go off tangent. We've seen founders, where the business is not even doing a certain amount, and the founder is paying himself $15,000 every month for a company that is not even making up to arguably $500,000 every month in revenue, not even profit. And the guy is paying himself $15,000 every month. I don't mention names. You've seen a lot of things, right? So those are 2 things you will check. The others, we will let you know if that question is coming from certainly coming from a non-Club BFM member, because if you're a Club BFM member and you're in our tech startup investment community where we have, I think, up to 30 people or 35 people, I can't remember now. You certainly would have known our litmus test. Yeah. Thank you. Next question.
All right. Thank you very much, sir. Just to remind us again, if you have any questions, you can drop it in the chat, or you can unmute your mic and take your questions. So I will be taking a question that was dropped on the group by Mr. Ezekiel. He's asking, the investment that the club engage in, is it for only paid members, or free members can participate?
Thank you very much. So it's actually only for paid members, and I'm going to give you one single reason why it's for paid members. Now, these companies that we invest with, they are companies that you see them, you know them. But because we come in as an institution, there are some information that you will never know. It's not even meant for public consumption. And like I said at the beginning of this session, by the time the public gets to know, it's already late. I just mentioned Dangote pre-IPO, and somebody was actually saying in the chat that, oh, I'm still expecting it. We have closed it already. We've closed it already, right? So it's for paid members. And these same companies that are there, you can ask who the chairman is, who the board of directors are, if they are listed on stock exchange, blah, blah, blah. You can do all of those things. What we do with these people is that we have custom packages that is not open to the general public. Members of the club who have invested in any of our investments will confirm what I have said. Every of our investments we've ever done, what our members stand to gain, it could be in return on it. It is mostly in return on investment. Not all are in return on investment. Mostly in return on investment, it is higher than what that company gives to the public. That's one of our yardstick for even signing up partnerships. The other one could be access to some people. It could also be reducing the barrier of entry or participating. How much do you think Dangote was raising from one person for that pre-IPO? It wasn't raising $10 million or $20 million or 30. It was not even raising $100 million per person. It was not. It was not. So don't worry, let me not continue. Let me keep quiet now. Let's take the next question, please.
Okay, so we have a question in the chat that says, but the information was not clear as regards the Dangote IPO.
The pre-IPO, he has not done IPO. IPO is when the whole world we get to know about it. Okay. I don't know who asked that question, but it's not. IPO is when the whole world will know about it.
Okay, I've seen another question in the group. Apart from the 200,000 naira registration fee, what other fee does the club charges its members?
None, except if you want to become a corporate member. So the information on the Dangote thing, it was not made public. So if it's not clear, it's deliberate. They didn't want people to know. So that's it. They didn't want people to know. So please don't feel bad. It was deliberate to keep it in a very close loop, very, very close loop. That even in the same community where you are with some other people, there's still a more secret community, not secret court, please. There's even a more secret community where only some people, few, have access. Okay. There's a question in the chat. It says the rise with EFI investment challenge. Sorry, FI investment challenge. Is Club EFI supportive of this? We are not against anything our partners do, right? Because whatever they do with other people does not concern us. Just like whatever they do with us does not concern other people. We are only focused on our own partnership with them and the benefit our members gain by the partnership. All right. Any other question?
Um, um, this question is asking,
So your network is
what is,
bad. I don't know, or is it my network? I don't. Questions, please.
is this any better?
Yes, it's better now. Go ahead.
Okay. This person is asking, what is the future goal for the club in terms of investment beyond our current portfolio? Are there plans to expand into new asset classes
All right.
for the club?
Okay, so we are always welcoming different asset classes. As of today, we have a range of different investments that we do. We have in real estate, locally and abroad. That's so real estate locally, real estate abroad, that's two. We have fixed income, that's three. We have tech startups, that's four. We have stocks, that's five. We have stocks in Nigeria, that's six. We have agriculture, that's seven. We have the ones in the one in British pounds, which is loans, that's eight, where we give loans, right? That's eight, and that one is in pounds. Then we have some custom investments. Now, these custom investments, we have some people that, not we have some people, there are some people that are in that, how will I put it, that participate in that level. So, for example, we have some investments that if you don't have 10 million naira and above, you can't participate. And there's some ones, if you don't have 5 million naira and above, you can't participate. So we have some custom-made investments that they come once in a while. And those ones, we also do them. And they come in different forms, right? Sometimes they come in the form of real estate. Sometimes they come in the form of agriculture. Sometimes they come in form of short-let homes, right? So these are some other investments that they are not like regular. There's a time they come, we want to execute a project, we bring the money together, we execute the project, we declare profit, right? But there are some, the other ones I mentioned, like the eight other ones I mentioned, those ones are regular. I mean, you can start today, you can start tomorrow, you can join whenever the next cycle is open, and so on and so forth. So are we aspiring to expand more? Yes, but as much as possible, we try not to bring conflicting investments. Okay, we try not to bring conflicting investments. We have explored some other ones that we pulled back from. For example, people told us to look at gold, but gold by and of itself does not increase in value inherently. Inherently, people talked about gold, precious metals, and things like that. It does not increase inherently. It only increases because the value of the currency for purchasing a kilogram or a carat or whatever, a kilogram of whatever carat increases. But it's not something that itself it grows. For example, if you invest in a business, right, a business can collect your money, use it to do business, trade it, and increase. Inventory can increase. You can increase your staff strength. You can increase your customer base. You can, but if you buy gold of maybe 50 kilograms, it's the same 50 kilograms. The only thing that will make it increase in value is if, the price also increases, right? So we pulled back. That was one reason why we put back. Other reason is, sharing formula and all of those things we put back. The other one that I said we should look at was cryptocurrency. But cryptocurrency is not also, I have said it before, it's not an investment. It's, it's not an investment. Okay. And I wouldn't want us to go into why we've trashed that out in our community. It's not an investment. If you buy a coin, well, it's fine. You can buy your coins, but it's not an investment. It fails on what makes an investment an investment. Okay. So, but if you have something for us, either something that we can do repeatedly, like we've done for the eight I mentioned, and that we still do, or you have something custom, right? Let us know, and we'll look at it. There was a time we also looked at entertainment, those into filming and cinematography and all of those things. By the time we put all of them through our litmus test for let's see if we can invest in we saw that they were falling flat at some points. Okay, thank you.
All right, thank you very much, sir. So we have another question. We are hearing millions, we are hearing dollars, right? Someone is asking, what is the minimum investments that one can do when becoming a paid member?
You can invest so we have investments that you can start with as little as 50,000 naira. In fact, as little as 20,000 naira, we have. And we also have investments that if you don't have 10 million naira, you can't participate. right? So we have 20,000 naira is what you can afford, I'm sure. I mean, at least I want to believe. So please don't worry. For us, what is critical is the habit of investing regularly at the frequency at which you earn, you are investing, right? That's what is critical to us. It's not the amount. The amount is important, but it's better if you earn a certain amount and you can keep 20, 30, 10, 5, 40, 50% of that amount in an investment. By the time you are earning times 50 of that amount, to keep that percentage will not be difficult for you. So that's why for us, we want people to start from, I just finished from, school. I just got my first salary. Where do I invest? What do I do? It's always okay that way. Investment is not for the high and mighty. It's for everybody. Thank you.
All right. I think that's all the questions that I have. I don't know if at this point anybody has any question. If you have any other question, okay, I think I see a question. What is the club's position on capital marketing trading, e.g.,
Yeah.
stocks, X, crypto trading?
Okay. Thank you very much. And I'm still seeing something in the chat that says cryptocurrency is not an investment, it's a currency. It is what you do with it that is an investment. Okay. But as a currency, it also fails on several levels. But don't worry. Yeah, our position is so we recommend stocks that you should buy. Stocks, either Nigerian stocks or US stocks. I mean, two of our Nigerian stocks that we've recommended has not given anything less than 80% in a year. Two. I even invest in those two. And I don't invest in any other Nigerian stock apart from those two. I only increase my position in those two. Then, of course, in US, we have some ones that, they pay monthly dividends and all of those things. I don't think we have less than 15 US stocks that we have recommended. Now, what's our position? We don't help you to invest, but we always advise you can do two things. Either you trade if you've got the time, you buy, you sell, you buy, you sell, and all of those things. With our partners, you can set a sell price, you can set a buy price so that you don't even have to manually do these things or log into your app to do it at every point in time. Or you can simply do DCA, dollar cost averaging, which means you are an investor. You are not buying and selling, buying and selling. You are just buying and buying and buying and buying and buying and buying for as long as 4, 5, 6 years. I've been doing investment in stocks. I've been buying and buying. I rarely sell. That's what works for me. I don't know what works for you, right? Until we have a sit down one-on-one session, then we can start defining what works for you, plotting your finances on the graph, doing your net worth calculation, doing your FIRE number, and all of those things. But yes, for stocks, yes. For FX, no, we don't do anything around FX, which is buying currency and trading currencies, which is something related to what cryptocurrency also does in one way. There are many other ways, but let's try and keep it simple for the benefit of everyone being carried along. So that is it around. So stocks, yes, I've told you what they are, but for FX and crypto, no. Thank you very much. Any other question?
I see a question that says, sorry, I did not get the two Nigerian stocks you mentioned.
No, I didn't mention names. Even for the US stocks, I didn't mention names. Either Nigeria or US, I didn't mention names. We have given that information in the community, but I'll be happy to answer you also privately for that stock, for those two stocks in Nigeria. 80% in the past 1 year. The other one has done 105% returns in 1 year. Yeah. All right. Any other question? I think we've spent an hour. Daniel, do you have any other question? Or should we begin to bring it to a close?
I've not gotten any other question. Okay, I
Okay.
think I see one. Can free members see the list of investments that the club engage in, or is it only for paid members?
Can free members see the list? No, it's only for paid members. Sorry. It's only for paid members. It's only for paid members. All right. I think that is pretty much it. Yeah, so let me just drop in the chat box if you actually have further questions. I'll be happy to, receive your questions. Send it to the email there. And of course, maybe on any of our social media handles is at Club EFI on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. You can send us a DM. We have somebody who manages our social media handle. Actually, is it somebody? We shall have people. We have people who manage our social media handle. People, right? And they are paid for it. I'll put it that way. From history, we have been answering questions that goes into our social media handle. So please feel free to also ask questions on our social media or send us an email. And yes, in the alumni, you feel free to also ask questions. The one I can answer that is not sensitive, I will answer. The one that is not sensitive, then we'll take it privately. I can see some people already asking me in my DM. I've given the answers to those two stocks. Don't worry, I will send it to you too. Like 3 people already asking me, so I've given the answers. Please check your WhatsApp as well. Yes. Is Corgi part of our investments? Yes, Corgi is part of our investment. They've raised money 3 times in the past 2 months, if I'm not making any mistakes. $4 billion in valuation now. Corgi. US company into insurance, fantastic company. If anybody going to exit from Corgi now, which is our investment of 2024 November, you will not be walking away lesser than 40 times your returns. I have some information that I get from the inner caucus, right? So you will not walk away lesser than 40 times your investment returns if you exit Corgi today. Corgi. I think I even posted the analysis. Yes. I think I posted the analysis on that Tech Startup investment community. I will tag that post for you. All right. All right. Thank you. Any other question, or we can bring the meeting to a close now? Okay, thank you so very much. Let's bring the meeting to a close. So first things first, thank you for your time. I must really appreciate your time and attention, and we do not take this for granted. Please stay connected, move with people that can help you accelerate your financial journey or your entrepreneurship journey in life. Again, we will not do advertisements as a club. We are very coded. We are very coded. There's no noise. I would also like drop this link when we put it on YouTube, and then yeah, you can take it up from there. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful end of the month of July. Please don't forget you need to invest. It's not the amount that matters, it is the consistency that matters. So that when the money becomes times 4, times 10 that you earn, you won't feel pained to drop money to invest. It's the most exciting time of the month. And please invest. If you don't know where to start from, reach out to us. We always say this thing, when you join the club and if in 3 months you do not see any value of joining the club, we will return your money 100% refund. Have a wonderful night rest. And for our colleagues who are in Australia, we have like 3 people who are members in Australia. Have a great Monday already your side, and happy new month in advance. Thank you, everyone, and good night.